Welcome back. I understand Professor Bolaji Akinnyemi is now ready for us, from our Foreign Affairs Minister. Hello, Prof. Thank you for joining us on Nigeria 2015.
Good evening.
Thank you, Prof. Prof, the elections have been shifted. The dates for the elections have been shifted. Several reasons have been given, one of them being security concerns of the security chiefs. But there are others who are worried that it's beyond the security concerns that the elections were shifted. What's your take on this?
Can you repeat that question, please?
The reasons for the shift in the date of the elections were given as being security, that the security chiefs cannot provide adequate security for the electorate. But there are others who are worried that it's beyond security. INEC wasn't prepared at all.
Well, all the data are out there in the public. And I mean, frankly, I don't think trying to weigh who is right or who is wrong in this makes much sense to me. The more important thing is there are two institutions of government, the security agencies and
well, we've lost that signal, but we'll get back to Professor Akinnyemi as we move along in the course of the program. But let me come back to us here, a very quick one on the issue of corruption. You talked about things bothering the Nigerian state, and the two presidential candidates talked about corruption. The president was asked to clarify what he said when he said about stealing not being corruption. He did clarify that. He just used the word corruption to cover up stealing and incompetencies, which your candidate also talked about, that that's the major thing he's going to tackle when he comes into office. So how do you think that they are all handling this issue of fighting corruption? Are there methodologies that they've laid out there correct?
Yeah. What I was saying before, let me put it rudely interrupted. You were not rude. You see, the issue for me about corruption, Boko Haram, insurgency, and so on and so forth, is traceable, mark my word, to global warming. Let me tell you, all the states in the northern part of Nigeria, from Kebbi right across to Borno, they have each lost about 25% of their farmland, 25 to 30% of their farmland. Lake Chad, that had water volume about 25,000 square kilometers, today has less than 15%. Less than 15%. Land and water, people depend on that. You know that. If a state loses 25% of its land mass, of its arable farmland, to sand dune has covered the whole of those places. If a state loses, that means 25% of the population is out of work. If 25% of how many states? 11 states across, if they are out of work, these are farmers, peasant farmers, these are cattle rearers, and Lake Chad supports about 15 million fishermen. If Lake Chad had dried up, and we have lost all this mass of land, what do you think we have? We have lost about 30 million jobs in the north. 30 million jobs. That is a cause, that is a source of worry for any government in this country. That should really, really, arrest the attention of every government here in this country. But what are we doing about, what is government doing about it? The present administration, they have set up so many programs to tackle it. Unfortunately, the other side is not even talking about it at all. Which is, I'm so surprised because, let me tell you, just a minute. You heard about cattlemen, herdsmen clashes and all that. It is the same global warming.
Okay, because we really have to work with time here. So if they have set up so many institutions and they are seemingly ineffective.
They are not ineffective. This thing takes time to tackle.
Okay.
And they have set up series of programs to attack global warming, that will give back jobs to people.
Okay.
That will.
Can he respond to that? Because we have to
when you have
go to
30 million, when you have 30 million jobless people, then you have fuel for Boko Haram.
An incumbent president is supposed to run on the strength of evidence of performance in office. If you have been in office in 6 years, and all you tell us is that you're going to do this, you're going to do that without telling us what you have done, you are evidently a failure. Now, why have we decided that this is what we would do? The presidential candidate of our party did not just, it wasn't just magisterial. We did an opinion poll. We go to the people, we reach them. If democracy is government of the people, for the people, by the people, then what they want from government is important. Through a feedback mechanism, preponderance of Nigerians rather, stated that security is number one for them. Corruption is number two. Because obviously, if money is meant for developmental purposes goes into the wrong pockets, if you don't have means of ensuring that you have resources to provide the greatest good for the greatest number, then we are not running a democracy. Okay. So we're not going to be magisterial to say that this is what we think we should do. You should first and foremost get across to the people. What do you want your government to do for you? And then on the basis of that, you formulate policies. Okay. And that's what we have done.
All right. While we're still talking about reaching out to the people, Ini Thompson is here to tell us what's happening around the country. Hello, Ini.
Hello, Nelson. Good evening. Since last month, when 14 presidential candidates signed a peace accord under the watchful eyes of the former Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Professor Emeka Anyaoku, many states and political parties at various levels have followed suit. Tonight, we bring you the story of Kaduna State. Also, women must take their place in Akwa Ibom State and indeed Nigeria. That's the message from INEC. It seems the in thing now, signing of peace accords. The latest is in Kaduna State and it's considerably a ceremonious event. All notably active parties are present and willingly participate in the part. From the governor, Mukhtar Yero, who is of the People's Democratic Party, Nasir El-Rufai of the All Progressives Congress, the Labour Party governorship candidate, James Madaji, among others. The Assistant Inspector General of Police, Patrick Dokumo, reiterates the responsibility of the politicians in keeping peace in the state.
This accord is made today in the interest of everybody in Kaduna State and indeed Nigeria. There is nothing that is unholy about it. It is to further your political activities, is to expand and to ensure that whatever you do before, during, and after the elections, you are safe. Everybody in Kaduna State is safe. The state itself is peaceful. And so that Kaduna State will remain, Nigeria will remain.
INEC also clears any doubt on its position in conducting a violence-free election.
That INEC remains focused. INEC still remains determined to conduct free, fair, and credible elections in a peaceful atmosphere that will be provided by you and your supporters. Peaceful atmosphere will be provided by politicians and their supporters, because when the politics is heated, it is heated by politicians. The way you carry out your campaigns determines the way things are going to go.
In Akwa Ibom State, the women have moved from campaign grounds for various candidates to taking their own place in the polity. A one-day workshop aimed at enlightening the women on their responsibility and benefit in participating in politics is one of the ways which the Independent Electoral Commission intends to increase their participation. The guest speaker, who is a senior lecturer in the University of Uyo, finds an easy way to share her thoughts.
These processes that we are doing, electoral processes as we are doing, you see men coming up with threats, trying to intimidate you. Start to intimidate them.
INEC further assures the women that they are determined to make their vote count as they choose their leaders during the election. Signing peace accord is one thing, carrying out the election peacefully is another, and it is the responsibility of everyone. Back to you, Nelta.
Thank you very much, Ini. But we do have comments that are coming in here. I'm hoping we'll be able to take them before we leave the studio. But we'll take a quick break and we'll come back to continue. Please join us again.